Sorry if my voice sounds off. I just woke up, but, I wanted to make this video before I forget about it. So, it started on February 24th, 2012. I was 7 years old. And I was watching YouTube a lot at the time. The first YouTube videos I ever saw were a video of a baby dancing to some song, and the first video on the old channel with Artie wrestling my dad's foot. I don't count that as my first video because that was made by my dad, not me. So, yeah. But, anyways, I wanted to make a video. And at first my mom didn't want me to, but I eventually convinced her to let me. And I made the video on me playing Mario 64 DS. So after that, I started uploading a lot of just random videos. And I even remember one day I went to my school at the time. And I told everyone what the channel was, and they all checked it out. I remember they watched the Thomas video I made, where I was playing with these Thomas, the Thomas the Tank Engine toys. Yeah. There was that. But, it was still a pretty random era. This is also the year where I started stop motion. Now, not entirely sure how I was introduced to stop motion. I think it was through YouTube. I do remember watching, some Star Wars Lego stop motions. I know I watched, a million Transformers ones. Millions of them. One of them specifically was Jazz with a General Problem. That's a classic, and it's, really smooth. You gotta check that one out. It's really good. But anyways, my dad was experienced in stop motion because he is he's always been into photography. So he's made a couple of movies, which I've never seen, but yeah. He also filmed the first episode of Batman 2014. But yeah. Anyways, he introduced me to how to make stop motions. And I eventually did. The first one I made sucked, but, it's kind of expected. 2013 was basically the same as 2012. The only difference is in September of 2013, I moved to my current house. That's really the only difference. Yeah. Honestly, the videos were still very random, and I didn't really have any content focus. So 2013 is basically the same. 2014 was also the same, but to keep it interesting, I'm going to talk about something that doesn't relate to my YouTube channel. So, basically, at this time, during Halloween, I was going to be Batman for Halloween. And I decided to make a couple of videos of me. They weren't YouTube videos, but just videos of me hunting down a criminal. And, eventually I wanted to film a fight scene between me and a villain I created called the Mad Gardener. And my dad said, well, we should come up with a plot for it, not just the fight. So, Batman 2014 was born. The first episode was decent. It was pretty cheesy. You could tell it was homemade. But, it was decent, had a plot you could actually follow. Unlike the other episodes, which are terrible, but we'll get to those with our next year, this year is one of the most important years of my YouTube career. At the beginning of 2015, I was still uploading to my old channel, but I wasn't a fan of the name because it was Jay Ukniat, which is just the initial of my first name, Josh, and my last name, and we couldn't figure out how to change my name for some reason. So my mom made an entirely new channel, Mr. Ender Kid. I came up with a username 3 ways. So the Mr., I used to watch a Minecraft YouTuber called Stampy, and he would always, anyone who would join his game, he always say Mr. before their name. Then Ender, at the time I was like obsessed with Minecraft, so this is Enderman. And then Kid, because I was a kid at the time. That's how I came up with the name. We'll get to the name change to Mr. Ender Boyo in a little bit. But yeah, this channel was what started my YouTube career, basically. The first channel it never went anywhere. This was the first channel that people actually watched. I mean, I had a few people watch my other channel. It was mainly just friends, family members, and a couple of random people. But this is the first channel where it actually did something. Now, this channel never had a focus in content, which, anyways. The first few videos were nothing special. There were a couple of random videos, and by the end of 2015, I had gotten into Roblox, which I still play Roblox to this day, and I've been working on a Spider-Man game on there if you want to check that out. But anyways, so I made a few videos based on that. But 2015, it was an important year, but nothing really happened in terms of content. I did, however, return to stop motion at this time. Now, all the stop motions I made are lost, except for the one I uploaded on my old channel, which was not very good. Which was the Batman Jokes on You, I think it was called. But anyways, the 2 stop motions I made that year were Indiana Jones versus Chasm, who, if you don't know, was the guy with the fez in Last Crusade that was on the boat and he beat him up by the propeller. That guy. And there's a Star Wars series I tried to make, but it was kind of a mess. It was only 3 minutes long, and all it was just a bunch of really random fight scenes thrown together. I still wish it was around, though, because some of those fight scenes were kind of cool. But anyways. And now to talk about Batman 2014, the new episodes. I've been trying to make an episode 2 for months, but my dad was never ready to do it. It was going to be about Mr. Freeze or Deathstroke. The only thing I knew for sure was going to be there is Robin was going to be in it. Anyways, I just decided to make it myself, which was not a good idea. So I had Nick come over one day. If you don't know who Nick is, you've not been paying attention to my channel. Well, he came over, and we decided to make an episode, this time with the Riddler. So we threw together a cheap Robin costume where I just gave him a red shirt and a mask and a cape. And then Riddler just had a green shirt and this cane. So, yeah. And the rest of the episodes were basically the same. Bad writing. Well, there wasn't even any writing. It was all improvised. Just no barely any plot, terrible fight scenes, and bad camera work. So, yeah. I will release them in March once Nick turns 18. So that way he can show his face at his mom getting mad because he's an adult. 2016 was also an important year, but not at the beginning. The beginning of 2016 was pretty average. I did attempt to make my first Spider-Man series, unless you count that Spider-Man versus Lizard thing where I said part 2 would be about Doc Ock, but that barely counts. That was just a fight scene. It was too ambitious for the time, and I still sucked at stop motion. I could probably make it now, but I have a different plot now, and the plot I had was pretty dumb. I explained it in a different video if you want to hear more in depth about it. But summer of 2016 was a huge change in my life. I was introduced to Super Mario Logan, who, I mean, yeah, his content is garbage now, but this is at the time when it was still decent. At the same time, it was when he introduced Jeffy, but yeah. Anyways, I was introduced to him, and I made my first Mario comedy series, I guess. RJNL Studios. Now, at this point, the old channel is completely abandoned. Except for me re-uploading one video because my mom privated it when it was released. Anyways. RJNL Studios. It was named after a production company that I made up. And, basically, I didn't have any plushes at the time except for a Koopa, which I still have that Koopa, but anyways. So, what I did was I used a bunch of Mario figures that I had, which you could actually see in some older videos on my old channel, but yeah, I used them, and I made a plot about Mario and Luigi wanting spaghetti, so frickin' Tails, who is a chef for some reason, makes it for them. But then Thanos, he steals the spaghetti because he's supposed to be fat, I guess. And then Tails, beats him up, and then Yoshi eats the spaghetti. Yeah, it was weird. But at the same time, it was pretty funny, and, the series was somewhat successful. And, yeah, I had my friend Tony, who I haven't really talked to much. I don't know why. Sort of just lost contact with him, even though he lives a few houses away from me. But anyways, point is, he voiced in a lot of them, and I also started using Musical.ly, or as it's known now, TikTok. Ugh. Back when it was Musical.ly, it was actually decent. Nowadays, it's just terrible, but I still have it on my phone just to, I don't even know why I have it. I was trying to look for a meme, that's why. Anyways. But point is, that was that was what I did most in this era, but 2016 ended, and we'll move on to 2017. 2017 and 2018 are both kind of the same for me. Both of them were, eras where, I don't know. I really don't know how to describe it. It's just, they feel the same to me. I was very focused on meme content, while at the same time trying to push out, other content. 2017 was the year I met Joe and Jack, who are both good friends of mine. You'll know Joe as Type A Joey 101. But yeah. Anyways, I met them both, and yeah. Joe definitely, since he had a YouTube channel, he definitely was, helping out with my videos a lot. We collaborated a lot, and he reacted to a ton of my videos, which is the reason some of them still exist, including one of the Spider-Man series I attempted to make, which I'm glad that existed because I wouldn't be able to remake it. So, yeah. I think the first meme I uploaded was a very loud version of Electro saying, "You're running out of mirrors, Spider-Man." I think that was the very first meme I made. I also made some YouTube poops. The first one I made is still up. It was a YouTube poop of Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen. The second one I made, I think at least it was the second one, I found on Facebook of all things, because I used to use Facebook a lot in 2017. So I found it on there. It was an Aquabats YouTube poop. But yeah. And yeah, 2017, not much happened that year. Just, yeah. Except for one thing. One little tiny thing. And that is the birth of my Plus channel. Yeah. Basically, from 2016 to 2017, I was in my first year of junior high. I had a terrible teacher. She's like one of the worst teachers I've ever had. Screw her. Anyways, because of her, I actually left the school. Like, I actually quit going there until exams. Still don't know how I got away with that, but yeah, basically she was being terrible at times. Like, she tried to push me, and she, wouldn't let me grab my stuff to go to the office where she wanted me to go. And she got me suspended, all because I wanted to talk to my friend about that stupid Daredevil movie. But anyways. As my end of school year gift, I wanted to get 4 plushes to start my Plus channel. Mario, Luigi, Bowser, and Bowser Jr., which I later changed to Peach. And I got them. And I started making videos. Most of them are lost to time. Then one day, I stumbled across Modern Mario Bros. Episode 5, where Wario and Waluigi make food. So, I decided, why don't I do something different and make my channel focus on Wario and Waluigi instead of Mario and Luigi? So I made my first video called The Crappy Pizza, which I deleted because it was boring and it was way too long and the pacing sucked. But I remade it, pretty much the same thing, except way funnier. The new one's way better, trust me. Anyways, so after that I made a few more. There were a few that got lost, like Bowser's Bad Luck, which I'm going to try to remake one day. Basically, Bowser spills salt, and then he ends up falling into a pile of fruit that was referenced in The Assassin. There's also the water snake, a video I filmed up north at my grandma's old house. All I remember about that is my grandpa getting mad because I didn't turn the hose off, even though I was just recording a scene for 2 seconds away from it. So I had to walk all the way over and turn it off, then record, and walk all the way over and turn it on. The water snake was a garden hose, by the way. But yeah, the Plus channel started that year, and that was really it for 2017. It wasn't a very remarkable year except for the Plus channel being created. 2018 was an interesting year for my channel. This is like the peak of my channel. So Joe was still helping with videos and collaborating and stuff. And I was, more into making stop motion. Like, I was working on multiple Spider-Man series, which again, I made a video on that on my stop motion channel. You can check it out. But anyways, I made a ton of videos, ton of meme videos, and unfortunately, RJNO Studios was dead at this point. Because of my creation of the plush videos, I didn't have any reason to go back to RJNL Studios, so it died. But, yeah. As for plush videos this year, I only made, 4, I think. One of them is lost. And, yeah. There was Bowser's New Minions, Bowser Day in the Castle, the one with Kirby, and Koopa Jones Goes to the Park. I don't know why I removed Koopa Jones Goes to the Park. That one was not that bad. I think it was because of Luigi's voice. And I think, and Bowser was kind of acting out of character, kind of. I don't know. I should have just listed as non-canon, but anyways, yeah. So, I'm not really sure what else I did in 2018 in terms of content. At the beginning of 2018, I watched Spaceballs for the first time in its entirety. That definitely left an impact on my channel because there were a bunch of Spaceballs jokes. I also did a bunch of comedy skits, which were pretty funny, although the reaction video to one of them was taken down because there was a 9/11 joke in it, and YouTube has been taking down videos with those. That video was funny. I wish I archived it. Well, anyways, point is, at this time I was doing a lot of stuff. I also got back into Aquabats. At the beginning of the year, I started getting into their music. Before then, I wasn't really into their music. I was really just into their, the Super Show and other stuff. But, yeah. So, yeah. Now let's go to 2019. This was the year I started the stop motion channel. Yeah, it's also the year that the Mr. Ender Kid channel was deleted. There were a lot of things going on at the time, I was in a school with another terrible teacher. All she did was yell at people. She didn't care about anything. She just yelled. And I was just really stressed at the time. And I also felt like the channel wasn't going anywhere. And I don't know, it was just a cluttered mess. So I deleted it. I regret deleting it, yeah, but it makes sense why I deleted it at the time. So, it died. You can thank frickin' Miss Mize for it. Screw her. And the schools can't do anything. I'm online now. I don't go to that school anymore. So, yeah. Anyways. So, 2019, nothing. Yeah, I started the stop motion channel. And a year before, I had met One of my closest friends, Incredible Brick Productions. And he basically, in 2019 when I started the stop motion channel, back when YouTube chat was still a thing, he introduced me to a bunch of other people who made stop motions. A lot of them would become longtime friends. I met him in a comment section of a Spider-Man stop motion where he wanted voice actors, and I gave him my email and we started talking. But yeah, some of the people I met at this time were Super Lego Matt, Elbrick Studios, Energetic Dre, Christopher Z, Legend Life Stop Motions. I met him in a comment section also. He was saying he's getting bullied and I helped him out. So, yeah. But we all became friends. And, yeah. And another thing that was going on at the time was the LDCU. My attempt at making a DC universe. Still, well, now I've kind of started it. It's really just two different series, which is Batman and Blue Beetle. So, nothing too big, but it's a start. But I had this huge plan for it. I even planned the ending for it, and yeah. And I eventually decided to just stop it, because everyone, like, literally everyone kept spamming my messages about the LDCU, and Incredible kept adding people and saying, like, hey, here's a new member. But, like, the thing that just, made me decide was some guy who had Hobgoblin as his profile picture. He's like, hey, can I make a Batman series? Like, no, I'm doing Batman. You can make Hawkman or something. Because I was out of characters. Everyone else had a character. And he's like, what? Hawkman? No, I want to do Batman. Like, I had Incredible going, let him do Batman. You can do Green Arrow. Like, I'm not doing Green Arrow. So, yeah, that was a mess. But, yeah. 2019 was really just stop motion focused. I had a couple of plush videos come out, and yeah. 2020 was, it was something. I don't really know how to describe 2020. For me, it was not an awful year. Actually, for me, it was a good year, because I got to stay home. I didn't have to go to school the whole year, except for the beginning. And at the time, my YouTube career was doing pretty good. I had a Batman series in development, which that one went nowhere. It wasn't until the next year when I'd actually nail my Batman series. I'll make a video on the different Batman stuff I tried to do, but anyways. Yeah, 2020 was a pretty good year for my channels, even though the year itself was terrible. But we all know what happened in 2020. Anyways. Yeah, overall, it was definitely, I don't know, it was a pretty, I don't know, nothing really happened in 2020, except that I made a few more plush videos. My plush channel hit 100 subs. That's the most remarkable thing that happened. And now, last year, what happened last year? Well, I finally nailed a Batman series, but I made one major stop motion that year, and that was it. I was mainly focused on my plush channel for a while. Then I was focused on a Transformers series that I never ended up making because it took forever to buy all the freaking figures for it. So, yeah, 2021, not the greatest year for my channels because I didn't really do anything on them. Although on this channel, the main one, in 2020, I did start Dub and Terry's. The first, like, actual content to come out of this channel. Which, don't worry, the series is not canceled. I haven't had anyone over lately because I've been very busy with stuff like school and the Spider-Man series, so I haven't had anyone come over. Anyways, yeah, that's last year. So, that's 10 years of my life. 10 years of YouTube. It's definitely strange to think, but yeah, I've been doing this for 10 years. And no, I'm not going to quit anytime soon. In fact, I'll probably be an old man that's still making YouTube videos. There's just so much I need to do. Now, the Plus channel, I don't know what's happening with that. I don't want to say it's dead, but I just haven't been interested in making those videos, and they're not easy to make. And yeah, the stop motion channel is doing way better than it has ever been doing. I definitely need to make more filler videos on there, though. And the meme channel will never... I don't think that one will ever have, like, a hiatus unless... I mean, except for those times I've gotten community guideline strikes for stupid reasons, and I couldn't upload for a few weeks, but that wasn't my fault. Anyways, that's the end of this video. It's been a very long journey. So, yeah.